all are feeling anxious about returning to work. The fear of leaving the safety of your bubble, well, it can be stressful. So what can you do to help set yourself up for a successful re-entry into your workplace and personal life? Joining us with tips is health and wellness expert Anastasia Turchetta. Welcome back to Bloom, Anastasia.
Thank you for having me, Gail. I mean, this is really, truly a thing. I know we think re-entry, what does that supposed to feel like? But going back into the workplace for some people is very stressful. It can feel fearful and very uncomfortable. This is change. It's a big change. We've conditioned ourselves in our bubbles, as you shared, for 365 plus days. I mean, if you think about it, it only takes 21 days to form a habit. So now we have to recondition ourselves as to safety, health, and it's okay to re-enter into the workforce.
You know, that is so interesting because we all become creatures of habits. We've all created new habits throughout the pandemic, and the same would hold true for working from home. So what can you start doing to make the adjustment? Because I know a lot of companies are, using SurveyMonkey or whatever to find out like where people's heads are at, and they're starting the transition process.
Right, and that's the first step to do. It's great that people are starting to ask and be concerned about people's well-being. The first thing I would say to do is to reduce your fear of re-entry, and what we do by that is to hold on to the healthy routines that we've established, because during the pandemic we've had a really unique opportunity to discover how important self-care is for us. So for example, walking outside was a routine. Meditation practices, mindful practices, whether they're on apps on your phone, and these could be micro breaks that you can take that can also be accomplished at your workplace.
Yeah, well, and I bet you a lot of people are like, oh man, I'm back in the grind, I'm back in the commute, I'm not gonna have time for that anymore. But what you're saying is like kind of spoonful, just do it throughout the day when you can grab a moment here or there.
Absolutely, and have a discussion with your employer to say, this is what I have found during the pandemic. This is the healthy routine that I have found that has kept me productive. It's helped me stay creative, and it's been very helpful for my well-being. So when you have a discussion like that, you might be surprised. There could be a hybrid option that your employer could offer you.
Yeah, that's actually happening at my husband's company where, people can rotate in and out. There's stations set up for folks that want to come back. They need a day here, a meeting there. Some people want to come back full time. So maybe explore it, what you're saying, with your supervisor or whomever you report to at work.
Right, and then the other thing too is to make sure that you set aside healthy boundaries, because those, especially for emotions. So when I say that, I mean, it's almost like, think of it as stretching the bandwidth, our emotional bandwidth, which will help us adapt to our post-pandemic lifestyle. Now this is you're gonna have the fear factor come up, because some of us, it's gonna be, I know how I am. I mean, I'm still like, do I have my mask? Do I have my hand sanitizer? What's it gonna be like? And what I would say to that is in order for us to face our fears, we have to take off our fear-canceling headphones. And that's how you move forward. So the 3 areas to move forward for that are the 3 words for today, which would be the take-home message, really. It's expectations, experience, and empowerment. So expectations, write a list down of what you expect when you go back to work. So for example, the top on the list would be, I expect that the reentry process is going to be a process. There's no template, there's no blueprint, it's going to be a process. I expect to have separation anxiety from working at home. Your kids might have separation anxiety. Your pets have separation anxiety.
I know my dog does. She sits there and waits at the windowsill for me.
I mean, and I expect to have a range of emotions, and that's okay. Meet yourself where you're at and embrace that. So I think that when you write down what to expect, that's really healthy for you in order to adapt and move on. And then write a list down of experiences. What have you missed? What are you excited about returning to? Is it a Tampa Bay Lightning hockey game? Is it a live sports event? Is it your kid's graduation or weddings? Write down what you want to experience and you're happy to return to, or maybe it's like a bucket list.
That's
something like that, and then that way too, it helps you with your emotions. It makes you happy to look forward to taking the small steps to reentry. And then finally, that's going to just lead into a funnel down to empowering you. That's the final key for this, because once we feel empowered by doing this every day, we create confidence, and that's going to help you move forward as you adapt at a pace that's healthy for you.
I love this. All great advice, and I really appreciate you joining us back on Bloom today.
Thank you.
So much fun. All right. For more information, you can visit AnastasiaTurchetta.com, and there's more Bloom just ahead. Stick around.